We're a relatively new company in Golden Shield. We're exploring for high-grade gold in Guyana. This is a gold nugget that they pulled out of the creek next to the camp on somebody's knee in the front of a 4x4 that you can see there. So we're pretty confident we're in the right place. Marudi Mountain's been explored by 8 companies. Marudi Mountain is a flagship project. It's in southern Guyana. It's been explored by 8 companies over 74 years, 25,000 meters of drilling, 200 holes, over $40 million spent on the project, about 500,000 ounces defined so far. So what are we going to do to take that to 5 million ounces, which is really what we're trying to do? We're going to do exactly what ExxonMobil did offshore in Guyana, where they found 11 billion barrels of oil between 2015 and 2023, when no oil was known there for 50 years previously. And how did they do that? They took advantage of technology. They used geophysics, they used computing power, and they used databases, models, and analogs. And that's what we've been doing at Marudi. We've used geophysics, we used IP that was never used on the property before. We reinterpreted the HeliMag data that was only flown after all the previous drilling was done. We've used geophysicists to interpret that, and we've applied a new model, which is a banded ironstone formation model, which is really helping guide our exploration and helped our understanding. And of course, you know, those deposits tend to be high grade, and you know, the most famous one being Homestake, which is 40 million ounces, but there's numerous ones, Back River, Gator in Tanzania, etc. So this is Marudi. This is our prospecting license. It's 5 kilometers by 10 kilometers. So it's, you know, the Marudi project is really a number of projects within that permit. The map on the right is the new geology map that has come out of the geophysics that we did at the end of last year. And these are the targets that we've been systematically testing with trenching and surface sampling since then. Previous exploration had a much smaller property than we have. We have a bigger land package. We've collected a huge amount of rock samples over the last 4 months, and 30% of those are above 100 ppb gold, which in this kind of environment, in a saprolite environment, is really indicative that you're in the right place, which gives us confidence that our targeting systems are working. And we've also been mapping the artisanal workings, which are known as pork knockers locally, and that's guiding our exploration to some extent as well. And what we've really been doing, which previous operators haven't done as effectively as we are, is we've got boots on the ground. We're doing a lot of trenching, a lot of sampling. Last year, we drilled 9,000 meters at Mazaya Hill, which is the most advanced prospect. There's about 350,000 ounces in historical resource at Mazaya Hill. This is a long section, and that resource was constrained by a $1,500 pit, which you can see in the black dotted line. So we've extended beyond that resource about 200 meters below the pit in thick, high-grade, eminently mineable by underground methods intersections. So the way I see this ending up is with an open pit with a high-grade mine extending to depth. So Mazaya Hill that I just mentioned is there in the center. The black dots are the other very analogous targets to Mazaya Hill that we've been trenching and working on over the last few months. And at Mazaya Hill, where there is a historic resource and we've extended it, it was always thought to be faulted off to the north and not extended to the north. Our geophysics has shown that you can see the red glow is the sulfides in the banded ironstone formation, and we now think it wraps around, and there's probably the other twin of Mazaya Hill there that we call IP6 because it was an IP anomaly, just off to the northeast. So that'll probably be our first drill target when we get drilling in August or September. Success Creek as well has been another discovery that was made by the geophysics. We went and entrenched it. You can see the workers there taking panel samples, and again, it looks exactly the same as Mazaya Hill, exactly the same style of banded ironstone formation mineralization. That's never been drill tested, so we'll be testing that as well. And similarly, Peace Creek was, before the geophysics was done, was pretty poorly understood. There had been some historic drilling there. There was 0.9 meters at 105 grams from some very short historic drill holes. We've been trenching and mapping that. You can see some of the gold pans on the right-hand side that we're getting out of there, but we expect to have a drill success there as well. And finally, Marudi North has about 100,000 ounce historic resource with a bunch of high-grade intercepts that was thought not to continue to the north, but our geophysics indicates that it does. So we have, at Marudi, we have a number of high-grade targets. We just bought an Air Corps RC rig, which will be arriving in country in June. We're going to saturation drill those targets, so we'll know that there is gold there in the bedrock below the saprolite before we diamond drill, and then we'll start diamond drilling in August and go from there. We're fully funded for the rest of the year. We have about $6 million in the bank. We just did a financing at 20 cents. So I think what we can look forward to is a lot of good results coming out of Marudi starting in the next few weeks. And additionally, we're also looking, now we have a better understanding of Marudi, and we understand it to be a banded ironstone formation. We're expanding out into the belt where we are in Guyana, where we have very few competitors, and we're looking at acquiring further properties and expanding that land package. So that's what we're in Golden Shield.